أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسول الكريم. Since last couple of weeks we are discussing evolution, and within that, after cosmic evolution, we had reached the stage of biotic evolution. But we are still in the phase of inorganic materials being created, and then today, inshallah, we'll enter the phase of organic materials. That is the organic evolution, or the basis of the biotic evolution, how that biotic evolution started. As a background, the last time we had discussed very important evolution taking place so far as uh, other processes along with the evolution, like upgradation, development, and neuron organization, brain wiring. These were discussed. And there are elaborate interconnections between neurons. This is just as a background. I'm just giving as a recapitulation. So we had discussed these things, that it is all based on mathematics. And today we will start with the questions that when we have come to this stage, then there are very important questions that arise. They have to be answered. Some of the important questions are that from hominid to Homo sapien, there are different stages of evolution. Even when the modern man was created, was evolved, there are different stages: hominid, Homo habilis, Homo erectus, Homo sapien, and so on. We try to create a link from sapiens, that is the last wise human being. Sapien means they had wisdom, and they were also called sentient beings because they had feelings. So from this breed, that is sapiens, it appears. These are all theories that Adam was upgraded. Now, here the question arises, when we try to link and try to understand under Quran, is it the same thing, the same leap, or same jump, same missing link as from insan to Adam? Is it really the same point which we are discussing, that Adam was upgraded from Homo sapiens? Homo sapiens were wise and they had feelings. They were sentient beings and they were sapiens. Is it the same thing, that Adam was selected from the Homo sapiens and Eve was selected also from the Homo sapiens? Then, if we say that this is the point where the upgradation took place, then it means we are talking about the upgradation in the cranial capacity, where the gray matter, which is the lump of organized collection of neurons, organized collections, that the human brain was developed from 500 cc to 1450 cc. We had discussed it last time. There's another question, very important question, which arises, because here we try to link it with the statement in the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَسَوَيْتُهُ, when I upgrade it, when I perfect it, when I straighten it from Homo sapien as Adam, I'll present it before you. فَسَوَيْتُهُ, this is the stage. The other question is this the same leap that upgradations were made in the brain tissue and local area networking? When we are talking about the organization within the brain, we are talking about the organization of neurons, neurology. We are talking of neurology. And in that neurology, first of all, within the body, fi kabad, within the body, within the human body, and then within that body, within the human brain, area networking was created, that how these neurons through those lines which have been set, through the organization which has been created, through the channels through which the neurotransmitters will be firing and communicating with each other, this local area networking line was created within the brain and within the body, that man is able to communicate within. For example, brain has to give an order to the arm to move. The brain gives order to the finger to move. So this area, local area networking was created, and its connectivity with the WAN, taqwa, wide area networking, connectivity or connection or something like Wi-Fi was created, that now the man can connect, man can think, man can go into his own mind and create a connection with the Lord who has created him. So this wide area networking was created with the universe. The scientists call it universe. They call it cosmos. That the man was connected with the universe. Man was connected within himself, local area networking, and then the man was connected with the cosmos. This is scientists say this, but I say man was connected with the creator. That is taqwa. That is connectivity. And it has been mentioned that there have been placed sensors that whenever there is any fujur wa taqwa, it can immediately sense that I am disconnected, I am connected. But if one loses that sense, that it means he has gone so far away, and that connection has been lost completely. The Wi-Fi is not working. The connection is not working at all. It has gone dead. The connection itself has gone dead. It's not working. So is that the stage? During this stage, these connections were created. Then another important question arises during that period of upgradations. Does this refer to process and period when upgradation and addition of modules of recognition, memory, processing, articulation, expression, eloquence, etc. took place? Now, why this is a separate phase? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala issues second notification, another notification to the Malaika, that, and he's giving them the right to know, right of information, that inni jailun fil ardi khalifa. He's giving them the information that I am creating, I am upgrading, I am evolving. Now I've reached that stage that when I now do, add those modules, make those upgradations, I'll present before them for the test. And then that test will be the test of ilm. In epistemology, we have discussed that Adama, Asma, Kullaha, Kulliyatan, Kullun, of the Asma, of the packages of information. Ism means the packet or package of information about person, about place, about anything. That is Ism. So in order to have that capacity, and then in order to have the capacity to store it, have the capacity to retrieve it, zikr, have the capacity to regenerate the ilm which is being given to him, be able to think, fikr, tadabbur, tazakkur, be able to do these processes, complete these processes. He was given in that period recognition, memory, processing, articulation, expression, eloquence, and altogether cognition. Now, for these, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned at different places separately that I gave you samat, I gave you basarat, I gave you hearing, I gave you sight, I gave you senses, and then in order to intake, I provided you the ports. When you take the data, I gave you the capacity to process that information. I gave you fawad, Samat and Basar, they have been mentioned along with Fuad. And then I also gave you the capacity to reshuffle that information. When you intake, when you take the information in Samat and Basarat from ears and eyes, then you have to process it in the Fawad, the BIOS of the computer, and then after that you have to make it meaningful. The kalb, word kalb has been used. It shuffles the information like the blood, it goes up and down. It shuffles the information, it places charts, it correlates information, creates a meaningful charting, mapping, and then create a meaningful presentation. And then the sadr, which is the center of intelligence, takes the decision. That is where the wisdom lies. And then the man is able to take decisions. So all these capacities were then given when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Inni ja'ilun fil ard khalifa, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that Allama Adam asma kullaha. He gave him the kulliyatan. He praised the fuslat in the ayat. And then, is that the same period? It is as a question, the performance of which was presented by Adam before angels. It was a taste of the faculties, the features, the qualities, the powers which were inbuilt within Adam. وَنَفْسٍ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا. Do you know what is in the nafs which balances it? Now the scientists say it's a set of social genes. So all these processes, it appears, have taken place during that phase. In this connection, this is, as I've been saying, I don't know nothing. And this is such a thing that people usually dispute with me. But here I'm quoting, and that is why I'm presenting it before you. Saulat Ali Khan's book, Tarikh-e-Islam or Musalman. It was published in 1991. It was a fresh book at that time when I was writing the book, Know Your God. It took 10 years, but I was in the middle of writing of that book when I got this book. This book was printed. It's a very good book. It is in Urdu. It's not in English, which discusses certain concepts and developments of this type, this nature, which we are discussing. Materialists like Aristotle say that primal matter was eternal. He says, Aristotle says that matter was eternal. And from the Quran, we don't find the point in time. Scientists say that we cannot find a point in time when the singularity is a material is a material thing. We cannot find a point in time when that was created. We only know that from the singularity, the Big Bang took place, they say, and then it exploded, and then the universe was formed. But now they have reformed that theory. There's no permanent theory in science. There's no permanence in science. But theories provide a basis from which you pick up a thread, and then you try to refine it, you try to improve it, and you try to find other, and in this process, you find so many other things. But if you reject that at the right in the beginning, as I will show, then it happens as it has happened to the Muslims, that we reject the theory, we rejected a theory of evolution, and we are still caught up with that. And then the world has gone ahead by refining, by improving, by correcting the theory. Same as happened with the Big Bang. What they said in the beginning, that it exploded, then they said it imploded, but now they say that the forces were peeled off. And that is nearer to the Quranic ayat, Ratkan, فَفَتَقْنَاهُمَا. It was all combined together. It was like sewn together, as you sew with a needle. These layers were sewn together, and each layer was separated, peeled off, as you peel potato, for example. They were peeled off layer by layer, layer by layer. This is the process in Ratkan, فَفَتَقْنَاهُمَا. And then وَجَعَلَ مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ. From that state, when it peeled off, it was a soup of some particles. This is the word scientists use, hot soup of particles, billions of degrees of temperature. And it was, they call it ma, they call it plasma. It was ma. And from such a hot material, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ultimately created the living things. Kulla shayin. Here it's not just a human being. Kulla shayin. Not only the animal world. Kulla shayin. Shay, dead or living. Shay, thing, physical material. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that from that ma I created all the material, even inorganic, organic, everything. And the materialists, however, are not able to say what was the position of time. Stephen Hawking, in his book A Brief History of Time, has also discussed this, and he says that the scientists don't know what were the boundary conditions at the time. He uses the word boundary conditions. If there was singularity, where did it exist? Whether it was in some space, whether it was in some time, what was the time? So they cannot resolve these issues. They don't have any answers for this, but they are still probing. And very important progress is being made. Forms and shapes. This is the language of Yusuf Ali. Forms and shapes came into being and perished later. This is almost the same language which Maulana Abul Kalam Azad has used, even Asad has used it, that it was after that that the things were designed from the process of evolution, khalaq, then many other processes started, like Allah is Bari, He fashioned things, Allah is Musawwir, He made them beautiful, and so many other things. He made them to function in certain manner. He's Jail, he says, Ajailun. When they perish, when this material perishes, for example, when the man dies, the Quran tells, and the science also tells this thing, the man, when is mixed with the man, with the earth, then the chemical decomposition takes place, the material is separated, each atom is, each substance is separated, and it gets mixed up with the original substances of the earth, and it goes, it perishes, it dissolves into those materials. What the scientists say, they say when they perish, they dissolve into the primeval matter, the earthen matter, the earthen material. They dissolve into that, and Quran tells us, then the earth starts absorbing them, they start dissolving. And that is where the kuffar of Makkah, they used to ask when these ayat came, that how is it possible that when the man is completely dissolved in the earth, vanishes, perishes, and then he will be resurrected? But the science shows that yes, it is possible, it can be. And I will discuss certain things in this regard also today, inshallah, which stands at the base of all existence. This cycle stands at the base of all existence. That the things are created, they live their life, they go back to the material basis, they dissolve into the same matter, into the earth, for example. Even if we postulate such primeval matter, this is another question, it owes its origin. Now, scientists stop there, but the Quran does not stop there. Quran is discussing that. And there is ayat that quote that this cycle, not only the cycle of material taking shape, for example, material becoming a shay, and shay becoming something like human being, living thing, and then perishing. But Quran says that nothing is wasted. Science also says nothing is wasted. Even the matter is not wasted. Energy is not wasted. They just get converting. They go on converting. And Quran says that explains the same process and invites attention that think about origination, re-origination, how I re-originate, how I recycle things. at a starting point, at the start point of origination and end, its end, as I said, perishing into the matter, perishing into the earth, human body perishing into the earthen material, the processes of creation and recreation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning in the Quran how these processes of creation and recreation take place. Think about it. They do not continue on their own. There is a process. They do not end. They do not end. They continue. They do not end. They continue. And in this ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that when I will wind up these seven heavens, like the seven discs, or the seven papers, seven books, I'll scroll like a scroll. I'll roll them up. This is the big crunch. Again, there's a difference in the explanation of big crunch, like the explanation of Big Bang. Big Bang in the beginning said they said it was a bang, but Quran says Ratkan, they peeled off. Ultimately, now the scientists say that no, it is layer by layer that it peeled off. First, the gravitons came, then the electromagnetic forces came, then after that, the weakest nuclear forces came, the strong nuclear forces came. That is how the process took place. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, the big crunch says that it will again collapse and there will be a big bang, like a big explosion or implosion, it will be collapsing. Like an earthquake, for example, just for the in case of Earth, but for the entire universe, they say that there will be a big bang, there will be a big voice, a big sound, big sound. And Quran is also making pointations to that, but Quran is talking about in an orderly manner. In this ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that whatever the sur is, whatever the sound is created, and everything collapses, but it will be orderly. These seven heavens, these seven pages, seven books, or seven scrolls, they will be rolled up in an orderly manner. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that I will recreate like I created the first time. Now, this time, we don't know before that it has happened according to Hindu calculations from their books, their calculations. It took 1.11 trillion years. This is a process of trillion years, and they call it kalpa. One kalpa comes after another kalpa, and another kalpa comes after another kalpa. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that when I roll up, then I'll recreate it, recreate. And this is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, that given in the system itself. It is his nu'iduhu wadan. It is a promise. It is inbuilt. It is in the system. It is incumbent upon the system that it will roll up and it will re-roll, it will wind up and it will rewind and it will unwind. This is in the system. This time maybe it is the material world of matter, and the next world may be the material world of antimatter, or maybe any other universe. But it takes time. It's a process according to Hindu calculations. It is a matter of trillions of years. Now, this is the ayat which points that this process is going on. That is why Aristotle said that this material is eternal and we cannot fix any point in time. And here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he's talking of evolution, he can create ex nihilo. He can create anything from nothing. He has all the powers. But in this ayat, the explanation which is being given, the pointation which is being made is that the same material is rolled up, wound and unwound, same material. This is what the Hindu explanation is also on these lines. All things abstract as well as material, abstract and material, design and material. Human being is not only material, It is abstract also. What is abstract? The organization of the neurons in the brain, the wiring itself, the abstract and the material in heavens and the earth are evolved by gradual processes. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is referring to different processes, خلق الإنسان من طين خلق الإنسان من first خلق الإنسان من تراب خلق الإنسان من طين خلق الإنسان من سلالة من طين. Now these are all processes in sequence, serially moving from one stage, one process to the other. Now, this is also indicated in the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when He says, Vaiza kada amran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that it's my power when He wants, when He wishes, Shah, when He wishes, and when that wishes, kada is completed, perfected, decided, kada amran, that matter, that issue, that thing, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala simply says to it, kun. It is imperative, kun. Now, as a result of kun, the fa indicates as a result of this kun, because of His power, not because of anything else, not because of the power of the universe, because of the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because of this kun, therefore, in consequence, yakun. Yakun is muzara. It is present and future that the processes start, the processes continue. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said kun, and after that, the process is continuing with all the design given from by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when He says kada amran, when He completed it, when He finalized it, He put everything in the universe, in the design of the universe, that now after that fatak, at that Big Bang, everything is expanding according to the design. Yakun, it will continue, it is continuing since last billions of years, it will continue for billions of years. And it is the process of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that kun has such a power that it can unfold for billions of years to complete the process, and that is evolution. And this process is orderly. This process is designed. That is why the scientists call it design theory. You must have seen a lot of cases still going on in the American courts and the West also, that this theory, design theory, evolution theory, should not be taught to the children with reference to the design, that there is a design in it. And science says that it is expanding, the expansion theory. There are theories within theories in the evolutionary theory, and it is expanding according to the design, which means according to the design of the creator. That is why Vatican accepted in 1951 that the Big Bang theory accepts Allah. There is a creator, and fundamental forces, discovery of fundamental forces, accepts Rab, the Lord. Allah is the Lord. He is maintaining the universe with His forces, with His junood, with His malaika, with malaika of different dimensions, with different assignments. For each assignment, He has created different species of energy. From the energy at that level, the energy which we cannot see because of the frequency, because of the short wavelength, because of the subparticle level at which the circuitry is made, subparticle circuitry, we cannot see it, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can make different dimensions, physically different dimensions at the level of matter, at the level of atom, and also different dimensions at the level of subparticle. He can arrange the subparticles especially in different dimensions and create different creations. These are the creations of energy which we cannot see because of the frequency. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran that if I reduce their frequency, mashaya, if they start moving like you, slow motion, like human beings, like the matter, then there is high speed within the atom. But when atom is formed, then further in the arrangement of the atoms to form substances, that motion is not outside that electron, outside that atom. But in the subparticles, the motion is there, and in spite of that motion, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in spite of those frequencies, has created the beings with different dimensions from those subparticles at the energy level. So this process of yakun continues, and it will continue for billions of years. Now here I will, as you remember, we had discussed chat GPT. We had discussed chat GPT 2 days after it was announced. And we are discussing Sora, I think about 2 or 3 days after it has been announced. It is another leap forward. While the people among the religious people, while the religious people continue to oppose theory of evolution and keeping the people in ignorance, those who have worked on the theory of evolution, and they have worked on it and by working on it, they have refined it. They are making corrections in this theory. They are benefiting in many ways. Today, genetics became possible because of the evolutionary theory. The DNA was discovered because of the evolutionary theory. We may deny it. We have been denying it. We will continue to deny, but we will remain in this position, whereas who continue to work with this, they are reaping benefits. Now, I will mention only 2 points here. One is Sora, open artificial intelligence. They have announced Sora. They had announced ChatGPT, now they've announced Sora. What is Sora? Sora is a text to video artificial intelligence tool. It works on the process of synthesia. Automata was the first thing which was created, and it was here since centuries from automata, and Muslims have a contribution in the creation of automata. Muslims created that. From automata, it has come to the synthesia, and yeah, they are using these processes, synthesia. What is synthesia? Create videos without microphones, without cameras, without actors, without studios. This is synthesia. This is called synthesia. This is a leap over the automata. Now, in automata, you need everything. You need microphones, you need cameras, you need actors, you need material, you need everything. Here, you don't need anything. You don't need anything. And you can create videos. You need only the video material. It is text to video. What is text to video? Text to video, and these have been created. These are working. These are on display. These are being watched, and these are being used in Gaza war, for example. In for example, 2 days back, when the shooting took place in Kansas, this has been used, text to video AI tool through Synthesia, and the videos have been displayed, in which the dead people, the videos of the dead people, they are making speeches. For example, if you order, you prepare a text, just a text, on this platform, just the text. Put the text in that platform, that app. Let us call it app. You put the text in the app, you give it an order. Prepare a video of my marriage with such and such lady. Give the name of the lady. And say that it should be according to the Muslim rituals. It should be in Maryam Masjid. And it is like this. You just give one paragraph of your text material, put it in the app, and the app will give you the video, your own video, anybody's video, Hitler's video. Write a text of one. In Chat GPT, you are writing a text and you are getting a text. You are writing a question, you are getting a reply in text. Here, you write a text and you get a video. You get a video. For example, you give a command, write a text that prepare, I want to listen to the speech of Churchill. He will make before during the Third World War, as he made these speeches during Second World War, and he will prepare. It will prepare, and these are appearing. These are appearing. They have been prepared. Suharto's has been prepared. So many other things. But there are not only moral questions, there are legal questions also, and the world is baffled. World is baffled now. Every country is trying to bring in questions, and in 2 days the revolution has taken place. Now we need rules. It uses artificial intelligence for video creation and video editing. It transforms text input into AI-generated video with avatars and voice overs. Come back to kun fayakun. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives a text in voice over. He gives a text. He says kun. The design is already there. And fayakun, it starts becoming. Now the entire video is playing here. Shah Waliullah said that here, what was happening on the planet or any other planet, it is just a video reflection, a picture on the screen, whereas the picture is being played somewhere else in the universe. It is being controlled from there. In the world, we are the world of Amsal, missile. The original is something is somewhere else. But these are theories. We are trying to understand. So if man can do this thing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can create anything, animate anything, from automata to synthesia, from material to animation, from creation to recreation, and everything. These things are becoming possible in science, but this is possible only when we work with these theories. We don't reject them. Rejection of evolutionary theory has created havoc in the Muslim world. Now here, there is an ayat in the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that if you don't accept my call, if you don't accept my signs in the Quran, signs in the universe, if you reject them, it's not just the rejection by the kuffar in Mecca. If we are rejecting it, no, it's not correct, it's not right. Allah has not created the evolution is not the process. These are not the processes. We don't believe in science. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that there are ayat in the universe, in the heavens, on the earth. If you don't believe in the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if we don't believe in the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which are physical ayat, which are working ayat, with which we are working, in which we are living, then we are denying it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that the time will come, if they keep on rejecting it, I will create an animal. I will create an animal. It will come out. Akhrajna. I will take it out from the earth. And that animal which comes out from the earth will speak with them. Isa alayhi salam spoke with the people. He was an infant, came out from the belly of the mother, and he was speaking. Now this animal will come out from the earth and will speak with the people. This is ayat before you, to kallimhum. If they don't agree with these sciences, if they don't look at these sciences, if they reject the science of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, here is not the rejection of namaz or roza or anything. This is the rejection of the sciences of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that then they will agree, they will know that yes, it is correct. Now, in this connection, we rejected the biotic theory. We rejected the evolution, theory of evolution, and we continue to reject the evolution theory. What has happened? Those who have worked with this, where are they? We keep on rejecting. We declared VCR haram, we declared loudspeaker haram, we declared microphone haram, we declared TV haram, we declared everything haram. But it still continues because science has a force, because it is based on haqaiq, based on the science of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are reaping the fruits. They have landed on the moon. We denied the motion of the earth. Therefore, we could not calculate the interrelational motions. We could not go to the moon. America went to the moon. Russia went to the moon. China went to the moon. India has gone to the moon. But we continue to deny. Even today in our madaris and some madaris, you must have seen those videos. The children are being taught that the earth is flat and the sun is revolving around the earth. Biotic evolution theory has gradually confronted, because we have not corrected it. We have remained aloof. The biotic evolution theory has gradually confronted human beings with very challenging situations for humanity itself. The modernity has gone the Western way. The scientific development has gone the Western way. It has gone the way which was developed after Renaissance, minus religion, because we have kept ourselves aloof. We have not give any input to correct it, to discuss it. We shy away from discussion. We make it a matter of faith and we give a fatwa of kufr. In 2005, and just an example, in 2005, 20 years back, about 20 years, 20 years back, in 2005, British government gave license to the creator of Dolly sheep, another license. Work is taking place. They are working, and we are still stuck up. No, we don't believe in the biotic theory, evolution theory. They gave a license to the Dolly sheep creator to clone human embryos for medical research. This is how it starts. Elon Musk has been given the license this year, and late 2023, last year, late, to plant a chip. He has implanted a chip in the brain. Now the brain can be unloaded. Future says. Human brain can be unloaded, can be downloaded on the chip. And the human brain can be uploaded with the information from the chip. And it is working. Dolly was born in 1996 and died in 2003, but this license has been given in 2005 for human cloning. It is taking place, sir. Even if we deny, when Galileo was punished and he was made to say that the earth is not revolving, he kneeled down on his knees before the priest, the mullah. He was under pressure. He was asked to say that the earth is not revolving. He said that the earth is not revolving, but in his heart he murmured that yet the earth is revolving around the sun. You issue many fatwas about anybody, but still the science is working. They are working. The world is working. The earth is revolving around the sun. Eve, after Dolly, Eve is a human being. Eve was created, a baby. CloneAid is an organization, human cloning organization, established in 1997. They announced that first cloned baby, Eve, was born on December 26, 2002. Our fatwa could not stop it. The evolutionary theory, which brought to the DNA, which brought to the genetics, which brought to the chromosomes, which has gone into the chromosomes, they have done this. Human cloning is artificial creation. artificial, I'm repeating, artificial intelligence, artificial creation of genetically identical copy of humans. And that was made possible starting with the evolutionary theory. That is reproduction of human cells and tissues. Evolutionary theory, when the microscope was created, took us into the cell. And when it went into the cell, we kept on going into, and then we went into the human genome and we mapped it. It is argued that the production of genetically identical human beings violates human dignity. Yes, there are questions. As I said, they are going the Western way because we are not part of it. We are keeping aloof. We are not discussing. We are not part of the discussion. They are violating human dignity. There are concerns. Two commonly discussed types of human cloning are, there are different types, but from those, only two I'm referring here. Therapeutic cloning, it is a cloning of cells from humans themselves for use in medicine. And there is reproductive cloning. What is that? Making entire cloned human, like Eve, make entire human being who's cloned. Animals have been cloned to have mutations, gene mutations to study animal diseases, and these are helping. We are giving fatwa against evolutionary theory, whereas they have created medicine, helping medicine. Livestock like cows and pigs have been cloned to produce more milk and meat, and we are drinking, we are eating, sir. We are giving fatwa on lahm al khinzir, making the entire khinzir haram. But this is cloning in which different things, different animals are involved. It is estimated that most of about 600 cloned animals in the United States are used for breeding. It is understood, and in Europe also, that most of the animals which are cloned are being used for breeding purposes. They are further multiplying. And when the population becomes from the basic seed, they are multiplying more seed, more animals, more and more animals. It is said that meat and milk of cow, pig, and goat clones, and their offspring are safe to eat. This is what the FDA says, this is what the concerned agencies say this, that it is safe. Food labels do not state whether it is from animal clones or offspring. So many things are being used from them. We were only worried about the material, that this lard has come from pig, this ingredient in the toothpaste has come from the skin of the pig. Well, now this is happening all over. And then cloning can even resurrect an animal that has died. Here there's an important question to understand. Creation, let me complete one sentence and then I'll say, in 2001, a cat named Cece was created through cloning. Now here the question arises. You are creating a clone from a cell, from a tissue, from something, from another animal, from a dead animal. Creating a copy from that is different from the resurrection of the original being. So here, when they are using the word resurrect, let us understand it. Since we are not part of the discussion, we are not correcting these things. According to Quran, according to our understanding, that the same man who lived here, who worked here, who earned here, who died on this earth, who was mixed in this earth, he himself will be resurrected. So when they use this word resurrection, it has a different meaning than the word which we use in the Quran that the man will be resurrected. He will be the same person. But here the resurrection, according to these scientists, is that they resurrect a cat from a cat. For example, a man from his cell. But according to our understanding, he is not the same man who lived here that life, who earned certain, who kasaba, who did something, who earned something, and he'll be taken to account. It will not be that somebody else is resurrected, the same person will be resurrected. Animal cloning is allowed, and I'll just complete this. I have taken some time. Animal cloning is allowed in Germany, Great Britain, France, Australia, Netherlands, Switzerland, Greece, and United States, and the list keeps on growing. While our fatwa grow, the list is also growing. Human cloning is prohibited by law in Germany, Great Britain, France, Austria, and Switzerland because of ethical questions, not because of science, because of ethical questions. Licensing is required. You need a license. Clone meat, cultured meat, it is called cultured meat also. Products are grown artificially in laboratories using cells from live animals. It is being used. The products are being used. Now, coming back to the main topic of evolution, I stop here. We'll, inshallah, Allah willing, start it next time if Allah wills. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك اللهم لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا واصرف عنا شر ما قضيت. اللهم ادخلنا برحمتك في عبادك الصالحين. اللهم اخرجنا من ظلمات الجهل والوهم إلى أنوار العلم. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. اللهم اجعلنا ممن يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه. اللهم اكفنا بحلالك عن حرامك وبطاعتك عن معصيتك وفضلك عمن سواك. اللهم بفضلك ورحمتك أعلى كلمة الحق والدين. اللهم انصر الإسلام وعز المسلمين يا أكرم الأكرمين. Oh Allah, spread your mercy upon us, shower us with your blessings, increase our knowledge, grant us forgiveness, and reward us with the company of the prophets in the Firdaus al-A'la. Oh Allah, forgive our parents and all our friends and relatives who have passed away. Oh Allah, make their graves garden from heaven and the grand in the Firdaus al-A'la. Oh Allah, we have many of our friends and relatives who are sick. We have our son Ma'raj and our daughter Aishawani. Oh Allah, grant to all of them full and speedy recovery. Oh Allah, guide our children, protect them, and make them righteous. Oh Allah, we ask you every name you have elected for yourself, that none of us leave this gathering, but his pains have been relieved, his worries have been removed, his debts have been paid, his weaknesses have been concealed, his sins have been forgiven, and his needs have been fulfilled. Subhanallah wa bihamdih, adada khalqih wa rida nafsih wa zinata arshih wa midada kalimatih. سبحان الله وبحمده عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته. سبحان الله وبحمده عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. وآخر دعوانا إن الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على خير المرسلين. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.